So I'm a big comic book fan and I love the X-Men. As a 90s kid, I loved the 90s animated series. I also really enjoyed the X-Men characters in Marvel vs. Capcom video games, and the X-Men game for the PS2, X-Men Legends, was one of my favorites. And the movies from the 2000s, while they're actually not very good movies, when I was a lot younger in the early 2000s, I did actually think they were really cool. So, now that Disney owns the rights to these characters, obviously there's a lot of speculation of how they will enter the MCU storyline. With the multiverse storyline happening right now, it's very easy to write them in. And obviously one of the biggest questions is who's going to be which X-Men. So personally, I really want them to do a young X-Men team. I want the X-Men to be the next Avengers, in the sense of how big of a name they're going to be. And you obviously should start with the younger X-Men storyline with the original casting of the X-Men lineup, which is Cyclops, Jean Grey, aka Marvel Girl, Beast, Angel, Iceman, and Professor X. But don't worry, I cannot make a list without adding Wolverine, so we will have Wolverine on this list as well. So if we're going to be casting somewhat younger actors, or at least actors that can play a younger role, to start things off, we're going with one of my favorite X-Men, probably my second favorite X-Men. Actually, that's not true. Probably my third favorite X-Men. And this is Cyclops. I believe that Joseph Quinn from Stranger Things, aka Eddie, is a very good choice for him. I've seen him with the shorter hair look. He can pull off the younger look, obviously, because he was in high school in the show, even though he was a little older. But I do believe that he would be a very good Cyclops. He's already shown to be able to act, and he's a actor who will probably be around for quite a while. So Joseph Quinn is my choice for Cyclops. For Jean Grey, aka Marvel Girl, as she's referred to early on, don't worry, this is going to be the last Stranger Things casting, but Sadie Sink from the Stranger Things show is also, I think, a very good choice for Jean Grey. They just happen to, whatever, they happen to be in the same show together, and they can be in the same superhero lineup together. She's a great actress. We've seen her in a couple of different roles. We've seen her in Stranger Things, and we see that she has diversity. She can be kind of fun-loving, but she could also be serious. She would be the love interest to Cyclops. And yeah, I just think she has a very good look to be Jean Grey in the MCU. So for the role of Beast, I'm thinking somebody who can pull off the more nerdy look and also kind of have a little bit more of a reserved look to him, because Beast does eventually become like more of a scientist. He has the glasses. He's a little bit more reserved and serious. So Jeremy Ray Taylor from the It movies, I think, would be a very good choice for this role. He's also 20 years old, and Beast goes through a lot of transformations from the original lineup to kind of where you see him with the blue hair and gets a little bit bulkier. So Jeremy Ray Taylor is very young. I think he could evolve his look to fit the Beast role as the years go on. So for Angel, I believe in the importance of diverse casting, and I think they'll have a more ethnic Beast or Angel for this young X-Men lineup. And I don't know why, but I can kind of see Jaden Smith as Angel. I don't know, coming from Wealth, Jaden just has that vibe to him that I think could personify a good Angel. And last but not least, one of my all-time favorite heroes and X-Men, Iceman, aka Bobby Drake. I think it's very important that the character is played by someone of the LGBTQ plus community. And as Iceman is one of the only homosexual heroes out there, I'm thinking a good fit for the role is Brandon Flynn from the hit show 13 Reasons Why and a few other movies. I think he has a very good look for this role. And yeah, I think as one of the only gay characters in the MCU, that it should be represented correctly. So for Professor X, there's a lot of names that I've seen people fan casting for this role, as it's likely the biggest deal, the biggest role, I think, of this new lineup. But I think that this person has to have the ability to be soft-spoken, and my perfect casting for this is actually Ewan McGregor. Now, Like I said, I couldn't leave out Wolverine, even though he wasn't in the original X-Men lineup. I do believe that he's going to be in this new revamped version, even though Hugh Jackman is going to be in Deadpool 3. But again, we're in the multiverse saga, so there will be a new Wolverine for the future. And I really, really thought that Tom Hardy would have been the perfect Wolverine. He's already kind of short, and he could have pulled off that gritty, low-life look well. But he's Venom now, and I don't know if they do the casting in case they ever decide to bring Venom to the MCU. They likely wouldn't give it to Tom Hardy. Some names like Taron Egerton, I think that's how you say it, name gets thrown out a lot, along with names like Daniel Radcliffe gets thrown out a lot for this role, Sam Worthington, amongst others. But while there are a handful of actors that could take this mantle, my pick for Wolverine is one of the most commonly mentioned names out there, and it's going to be Scott Eastwood. While I think that Wolverine should stay more true to the comics of being this borderline kind of gross, rough around the edges guy, I do think that he's too big of a name, and they'll give him a good looking actor, but someone that could pull off a rugged look, and I think Scott Eastwood seems to be able to pull that off very well. So that's my pick for the younger MCU X-Men casting. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what actors you would rather choose over the ones that I've chosen here. As always, thank you guys for watching. I'm very excited for X-Men to come to the MCU, and I'll see you guys next time.